Hello and welcome. Welcome to another interesting video about Docker networking. This time we are going to set up host networking. So let's start. First of all, we are going to start with the introduction of host networking and then we will perform lab for this as well. So here we have introduction of Docker host networking. When you use host networking mode, it is another mode, or like we have bridge mode, we have another mode, we call it host mode. A Docker container directly shares the network namespace of the host machine it's running on. So here we don't have a particular networking stack for our container. Here in the host mode, container will use direct stack of our host machine or a Docker host. This means that the container has the same networking configuration, IP address, routing table, interface as a host. Unlike other Docker networking modes, container using host networking don't get their own isolated network stack. Accessing container is like accessing your host. This host networking drivers only works in Linux host and it is not supported on Docker Desktop for Mac or Docker Desktop for Windows or Docker CE for Windows Server. So specifically we can say that it is exclusive Linux feature like this. Now if you go to this particular picture, okay, here we have default bridge, right? But in the host mode we don't have this bridge. Okay. You can say that your containers are actually directly connected with the NIC of your Docker host. So, one main important part of this is we are completely bypassing the bridge network mode here, and because of this, there will be the high speed, high performance, low latency access of the container. Okay, so let's go with the lab. You will get better understanding. See here, if you want to connect your container in the host mode, you just need to specify -network host. So what we are doing, we are going to create container and Docker images, and we are going to use this web server image. So Docker -it -name, let's say that web1, okay. Now here we have to specify networking mode, okay. So -network, we will say that we want network mode host, okay. We want network mode host. Then we can specify our image, let's say that my web server, and we want to go with the prompt, so I can say that bean dash. Okay, I am getting error. Why? Let me check this out. Docker run. I just forget to add run command. Okay. So yeah. So I just created container. Now look at the IP address that we are getting. I got same IP address as my host address. So my container got same IP. Now, what I am doing, I am going to test that Apache. So service Apache 2 status not running. Let's start this. Yes, now it is starting. Let's say that the status. Yes, it is running. Now if I want to access web server, I can directly access this using the IP address. Let me go to the EC2 detail. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to close this. Let me run incognito tab so we can verify that yes, it is working properly. And see, I got the test Ubuntu web server container. So it is very simple. Here we are isolating the whole default bridge or user defined bridge network. Our container is directly using our port number or directly using a network stack of the Docker host. Okay. Now let's understand the benefit of the host networking. Since there is no network virtualization or translation overhead like NAT, host networking provides best possible networking performance for your container. Any port the container listens on is directly exposed to the host IP address. You don't need to worry about complex port mapping or external network. Now, important consideration. Since container or host networking share the network directly with the host, there is less isolation between them and other process on the network. You don't have chance to publish specific port. All the port will be published. Yes, you can protect them using security group, but there is no mapping. Whatever the port number is running on the container will be accessible. You can't run multiple containers that listen on the same port with the host networking, as they would conflict with each other and likely with process on the host. Right now, if you look at this, here we have the web1 container or C1 container. So one container is already running on a port number 80. Now if I am going to create C2 container and I will start same port number 80 over here as well, then...
Sorry guys, sorry to disturb you. I know you all are enjoying the session and suddenly it stopped. But if you want full video or if you want full Docker course having 130 plus videos including projects, you can become our community member. Enrollment link is in description. Moreover, we also provide 24/7 support, weekly lifetime live session with Bhavesh Atara, updates and completion certification as well. Still you have any queries regarding it, you can contact me on my personal number. Thank you.